So I don't know if you guys have noticed this also, but it seems like during this COVID crisis that just more and more people seem to be out walking and riding their bikes and out with their families outside than ever before. And this morning, Beth and I took a bike ride down on the Tampa River Walk, and we ran across a homeless man named Timothy. And he actually was willing to share his story with us, and it really touched our hearts. And he talked about what it's like to be homeless during this crisis. And while we should have left probably a little more social distance during the making of this video, we actually felt like his story was too important not to share, because there's so many people suffering right now that are in his situation, and so many of us that might be able to help. So here's Timothy, and here's how it went.
I'm Bruce Johnson, and Tampa has always been my home. I love helping my clients with their business insurance, but my real passion is giving back to the community that's just given us so much. Join my wife Beth and me as we explore what it means to give back and change lives, and how you can join in too. Let's go. So this is how Timothy looked when we first met. He'd been in the same clothes for about 3 weeks and had not been able to take a shower. He'd been living outside, and the night before it was really cold, and all he had was this short sleeve shirt. So we gave him some money to go get a bite to eat, and we headed off toward Walmart to put together a care package. And the beauty of Walmart is they have everything a homeless person might need except for permanent shelter. And we also found a really nice backpack in the camping section and stuffed it full of boots, socks, underwear, shirts, toiletries, and even a waterproof jacket. And with care package in hand, we set off back down the Riverwalk to see if Timothy was still where we had left him. And sure enough, there he was. And he was kind enough to invite us to sit down for a chat.
Great. So Beth and I had the fortunate opportunity to meet Timothy today. Timothy is, we understand, is homeless, and he's been in Tampa for only about 20 days?
Yeah, 24, something like that.
Okay. So can you kind of share, how did you get here from Ohio?
I can't remember the date in which I left, but I walked. My theory was I was homeless in Ohio.
Yeah.
It still, at the time, was still kind of cold. And being homeless and jobless, I presumed it was probably a better idea to come down to Florida than stay in Ohio.
Right. Good
common sense.
It's going to be a little warmer at least, hopefully anyway. Until last night, it got pretty cold here.
Yeah, I've had a few cold evenings. This care package that you guys have put together is going to help a great deal. Thank you so much for your love and your kindness and your compassion.
Oh, you're very welcome. Hey, that's the least we can do. I mean, we try to, pay it forward and help others when we can, and just like, when you get back up on your feet, which hopefully won't be too much longer, you can pay it forward and help somebody else if the opportunity comes up.
That's I guess the irony and the uniqueness of what's happened to me. When I was employed, I'm a U.S. Merchant Marine as well as former Navy.
Okay.
I've been in the maritime industry for about 30 years.
Uh-huh.
Now, it's another reason I came to Florida, because I hope to get my licenses back.
Yeah.
And they weren't taken away or anything. I just didn't renew them foolishly.
Wow. So from the beginning of your journey in Ohio when you started, how long did it take you to make it to Tampa?
I want to say 45 to 46 days.
Wow. Okay.
The people that gave me those minute rides, as I call them, did what you guys did. Not all of them. Did what you guys had helped me with, and you hand me some cash, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Oh man, you're
balanced me for a bit.
You're very welcome. Don't mention it. You were sharing you'd had some trouble when you got here too. Like some things happened to you. Like
the very next day after I arrived here from Canton, Ohio, and the day after I got here, almost seemingly immediately, it was noon. It was about this time.
Yeah.
During the day, across from Busch Gardens.
Okay.
Three guys with knives robbed me and beat me up.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if your camera will pick it up. I've still got a little mark here on my forehead where they just punched me for no reason.
Just no reason, and they took what you had.
They took my wallet.
Okay.
They took my mobile phone, beat me up, as well as the cut here. I have a crack in my knee, and I have 2 broken bones in my collarbone.
Oh my gosh! All from this incident?
They thumped me pretty good. But since then, I've had, since I took my wallet, didn't have an ID.
Right,
Still
right.
don't.
Right.
And it's nearly impossible to do anything without identifying yourself.
Right, right.
I have a bank account at Wells Fargo Bank,
Okay.
and I've got plenty of money in there,
Okay.
but because I can't get an ID, I can't get access to it. So I've been homeless the entire time,
Okay.
and I've gone to a couple of shelters, but they're all full. I intend to go out to the VA hospital again because it's more than just a healthcare facility.
Yeah.
They have, at least the one in Cleveland does, I'm presuming they have what's called a financial responsibility manager.
Yeah.
And what they do is they help us get the paperwork going so we can get our pensions and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that, some other resources.
So do you have a pension from your time in the
I
service?
will, yeah.
You will? Okay.
It's already approved.
Oh, okay. You just got some paperwork to do or something, or?
Well, there's nowhere to send it to.
Oh, okay. I mean, once you can't do anything until things open back up, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they also, like I said, they've got a healthcare ID, and if they're open, which I wouldn't presume the hospital would close
Right,
during
right.
this thing,
Right.
but hopefully I can get a picture ID from the VA hospital, and then when Wells Fargo opens back up, I should be back in business.
Yeah. Fantastic. So how are you making it in the meantime? Like.
Well, when they were open, I would eat at shelters.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't stay there because they're full, but
Right.
I could still have a meal.
Right. Right.
Because last night I'm sleeping in the wild, and what I try to do, what I'm successful at it too, because this is my military training.
Yeah.
I know that's pretty much where to tuck away,
Yeah.
so that I'm unseen,
Yeah.
and it's as comfortable as possible.
Sure.
It's still a miserable lifestyle.
Right. Right.
Last night was quite cold, and this is all I had.
Wow.
So I didn't really get a restful sleep, but I haven't really gotten a restful sleep this entire time.
I can imagine. Well, tonight there's a lot of gear in there so you definitely shouldn't be cold tonight when the temperature gets down there, and then over the next week or two it starts to gradually supposed to start getting warmer and warmer. So that weather you were counting on, hopefully will be back here for a while.
Yeah. Well, again, all I can do is put one foot in front of the other, and not lose the will and the hope, because I know it's going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is just a bad experience for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with 3 guys with knives who wanted to beat me up and take all my stuff. Other than that, I'd be in business.
Right. It's amazing how just like a setback like that, how far it can actually set you back, and then all of a sudden the timing of it, everything closes down because of the COVID crisis. It's almost like a Murphy's Law,
And I talk to myself, and I say, God, why are you doing this to me? I mean, everything just seemed to snowball into bad. But whatever the reason, it's going to make me stronger in the long run.
Absolutely.
I'm sure of that.
Absolutely.
And I'll regain the resources. I'll keep praying.
Keep praying, keep the hope, and better days are ahead.
Yeah, I just hope it comes.
So when we meet someone like Timothy, it really does kind of put things in perspective. While most of us have a nice warm home to shelter from the COVID crisis, Timothy and others like him, there's just so many right here in Tampa that they don't have a home right now. And they're actually having a hard time finding food and clothing and other items that are much more readily available when all the services are open to them. So if you have a heart for helping the homeless, please consider donating to one of these great organizations that is still out there providing services during this very difficult time. And thanks again for taking time to watch and for taking time to care. God bless.